The original Gothic was so popular and so unique at the time that I feel like it deserves a proper remake.
Our approach was first and foremost to respect and embrace the original vision behind the game. We studied the original vision, we tried to understand everything what they were trying to say, they were trying to convey. And we just thought about, okay, this is a remake. That's the first thing the fans should have to do. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel or to do something crazy with the Gothic franchise. I mean, this is a remake. We embrace, we honor the original vision, and we just try to approach there with the uttermost respect.
After so many years, and actually after quite a short time after the release of Gothic 1, when I look back at the music that I've done back then, I kind of always find the things that I would have loved to improve. If I had more time, I would have thrown things away and replaced them with other ideas. So that constant, striving and drive to make everything better, now I get a second chance. So I can return to my music that I wrote back then and create new versions, create fresh versions that kind of stand the test of time.
It's been more than 20 years since the first Gothic came out, and it's difficult to think about how you bring something that has such a history into modern times with the quality of life we have now, and how you stay truthful to the original experience of playing such a game, which was quite innovative, quite new to the whole market and what it brought to RPGs.
I got immersed into the world of Gothic thanks to Kai Rosenkrantz and his creations. And I want to say a big thank you to Snowball localization team, because they made a huge job. The voices and localization, it helped me a lot to go deeper in this world.
I think that Gothic 1 was a game that allows the player to go everywhere, anywhere, and anytime. So that feeling that the player has in order to make his own choices.
There was, 15 years, over 10 years, there was nothing happening with it, which is sad, because it's like, it's a franchise and a game that people deeply care about and are very emotional towards too. And I'm myself sad, actually, that I never got to play another Gothic game in these times.
We are fighting with memories. We're just trying to embrace the original vision of the authors.
When I was young, I played the games in German. It was one of the only games which had a real character and authenticity to German culture. The dialogues were written in a way how you and me would speak if we would be, friendly drinking a beer and talking about stuff, right? And that is something that was never done by a game. It was so natural and so close to reality in a way, without being a simulation or whatever. It kind of fascinated me always, right? Because it also they were cursing each other in the game and reacting to each other in a very rude way sometimes, and that was kind of an attractor for me.
Creo que tiene algo especial. Este juego desde el principio, desde que empiezas a jugarlo, te engancha, te envuelve como en ese aura oscuro y como duro, ¿no? Que se consigue muy rápido, ¿no? Esa sensación de sentirte parte, ¿no? de ese mundo ya. La música, los environments.
Así que Gothic me gustó mucho por el setting y por el mundo. Y me llamó mucho la atención, pues que era un juego que yo no estaba acostumbrado a jugar en ese momento. Un juego que no te guía, no te indica dónde tienes que ir ni lo que tienes que hacer. Tienes que prestar atención a lo que te dicen los personajes, tienes que comprarte el mapa, tienes que estar muy atento, y eso realmente es una experiencia muy inmersiva, y yo creo que eso es lo que más me gustó del juego.
Gothic is a very grounded game that you feel like is tough, is hard, but also it's very realistic.
What this was amazing to me the first time that I played Gothic was how you could solve a lot of situations taking advantage of everyone. Everyone would take advantage of you, of course, but then you have these chances where you can take advantage of a character killing a scavenger for you so you can go around something.
Creo que lo que más me gusta del Gothic, que combina la magia y todo, es que aunque es un juego de fantasía, es muy verosímil. No es 100% realista, pero sí que intentamos que parezca realista. Entonces es como que combina esos dos mundos y no te da la sensación que estás como en un juego que no pudiera existir en la vida real, sino que es algo que te hace como meterte dentro del personaje y sentir que tú puedes estar viviendo eso.
The living world, like the simulation, that like everything is kind of like, everything has a daily routine, you can affect it, you can get to discover, kind of like be part of the life. It was the first simulation that I feel like was not centered around the player. It was actually going on while, you know, you were not the center of attention for everything. You were just a nobody. I really liked the progression system and how you learn abilities and what also the progression had an impact on, you know, your fighting styles like that the main character had.
Really, I think everybody struggled fighting against the first scavenger or run away from the diggers. And for me, this point from then learning that all the decisions make sense and all affect, and in the end of the game you are stronger and you get a name in the coloring, for me that's the most memorable thing of the game.
For me, the main thing that for me defines Gothic, it's the way you interact with other characters. I mean, it's not about, you know, killing 20 wolves and so you get a rise in your level of expertise in sword fighting. It's about find someone, convince him to teach you how to improve your skills, and then maybe if you are good enough, he will teach you something. You know? These human relations.
Our aim was also to create this remake in a mindful way and with respecting greatly the original, but we also wanted to set up like with the graphics to be like a modern game with a realistic look, right? And that kind of fights with the original, because the original, they only had so much polygons per figures, for example. And with these restrictions, you design creatures and NPCs and whatever, you design it in a very specific way to get the fantasy in your head, right? You had to do this back in the day. If there is people who are like, yeah, but I like this look. If you really like the look of the original game, I mean, I think there is a game for you, which is the original. And thankfully, I mean, you can now play Gothic 1 and 2 as classic editions on modern consoles, which I think was also one of our key strategies always to take care about franchises and IPs to make sure the thing that people love is actually preserved.
In the end, we're fighting to recreate the love memories. And in Spanish, we say, there's a say that says, cualquier tiempo pasado fue mejor. It seems any past time was way better. So in the end, we're trying to challenge with this, but it's a nice challenge. So when I read some fans' comments about, and they say, for example, a new cam image, we released not much time ago, and they say, wow, this is exactly how the new cam was in my imagine when I was playing. And then some other fans show him the real image of the new cam of the original game, and they say, what the hell? What the fuck? What's this? In my head, it was like the remake one.
So first of all, I think that the fan base of the original is a multi-layered demographic and structure. I think there's not one voice that you can listen to and say, like, if you do it like that, everybody will like it. And that's the core problem. There's so many different opinions. There's even like, when we did the Gothic playable teasers, there were even like old fans who were like, great, finally you are doing something different with it. I disagree with this. I feel like with the playable teaser, the aim was to really push the boundaries and go over it to get strong reactions, and we got that, so that worked out.
So back in the day, we were asking, okay, what fans want? What do they want? They want the same story with new graphics, or maybe are retold. Maybe they want a new story within the world, or maybe they want something in the line of new modern games where the character is always talking and doing jokes to the player. I don't know. So we thought, okay, let's go stream. Let's force a very strong reaction, and with that we can understand what they really want. No? And in the end, we got the reaction. We got a lot of ideas from the fans. The fans showed us the way, and they helped us to create the pillars of the Gothic remake. No, I remember 4 years ago creating a document with the pillars of the game view and saying, okay, we cannot move. Those are the pillars of everything what we are constructing the next years. Those are the founding pillars, and it should be that. So for me, the PT was good because it helped us to define those basic pillars, and we are here today.
When we started to create the real Gothic 1 remake and Gothic Greenlight to do it, we set out to, or we defined that first and foremost, we have to please the old Gothic fans. Because if they don't like our game, then this game has no right to exist.
I would say two things. The first thing to the fans is that I hope that they fully understand the way we embrace the original, the way we respect and we are trying to honor the original, because we understand how important is this game, well, the franchise, but Gothic 1 in special for them. No? Sometimes I read fans telling, okay, I was playing this with my father, and I will play the remake with my son. So I hope that they understand that we are doing this with passion and with all of our heart.
It's the people out there that make us do what we love doing. They enable us to do that, and they are kind of the other half of that world that kind of only works if the both halves come together. We, being passionate game developers that pour our hearts and souls into making the game, and the audience that enjoys playing those games and kind of keeping it alive over so many years.
And for the future, I would like to play Gothic Remake in 20 years with Aran, with my son. He's 2 years old now, but maybe in 15 years or 16 years, we can play together, and I say, okay, Papa, you did this, and I say, yeah. But yeah, or maybe in 10 years, we can play together to this.
PlayStation